Hello everyone and welcome back. I am back here on Forza Horizon 3 and I'm going to be doing a new series basically today. We have the KTM crossbow here. We're going to be going down a sprint path. As you may have seen, I did a video on a rallycross build. And now I want to do a sprint build. I found a nice sprint layout that goes through the jungle. It's relatively quick in the opening. There is, I believe, some water and maybe a slight jump. So it'd be interesting to see how some of these cars take that. And there's also some tighter technical sections near the end of the track. I'll show you guys where the track is. It's kind of long, so it's going to be hard to show it all on the map at once, but I'll show you where it starts from, like on the map, so you guys can go check it out if you want. And it's going to be an S1 class build. Only restrictions on the cars is that they have to keep their standard drivetrain, and I can't tune them, as always. So yeah, we're going to be taking the KTM crossbow here, and we're going to be upgrading it. No, we're not. It's already at the top of S class. What am I talking? This isn't the crossbow. This is the BAC Mono. I feel like a complete and utter idiot. I was just looking at cars to use for this challenge, and I was looking between the BAC Mono and the crossbow, and I totally forgot which car I chose. Anyways, this is going to be our sprint stage. It's the Rainforest Grand Sprint. It is relatively long. I think it's like something like 4 miles. You can see it kind of goes down through this area here. Like I said, you can't really show it all on the map because you can't zoom out any farther to see it all. But that will be our circuit for this series. So let's get into it. Alright, so we are here with the BAC Mono, and we're going to be running down this stage. We'll have 3 tries with the Mono to see what we can set for a target lap time. Now, as I said, these cars are going to be S1 class. I'm already doing an A class build for the lap series, the scramble. So I figured I'd change up a little bit, give these cars a little bit more power, plus this track is relatively fast and flowing at the beginning, so I didn't really feel like taking an A-class car down here would be a great idea, because I could see through some of the faster sections that's just buzzing the limiter, which honestly wouldn't be that entertaining. And taking some of the faster corners could also be interesting. Here's our water splash. Could be interesting with some of these cars because they're going to be going quite quick. Slow down a little bit there. Noticing a little bit of understeer from the Mono. Also, I noticed through the rainforest in areas you can see that the track, or road, not really a track, is kind of shiny. I'm not sure if that's actually, it makes it as if the road is wet. Not sure if it actually has any practical implication, like if the roads are actually have less grip because of that, or how that works. But yeah, it could be interesting to see if that does affect the cars at all. I'm not sure if it does. We're kind of running through almost like a deserty area there. It's a little drier on kind of the outskirts of the rainforest, and then when we come back down here we do enter back into it. Now when we enter up into this section, back into the rainforest, it starts out relatively flowing, but it will get a lot more technical. We do have a hairpin and a couple tighter corners. Not sure what speeds I'm going to be taking with the Mono. I did do this run with an Audi Quattro maxed out, and there was a bit of understeer. The Mono, I can already tell you, feels a lot better around these corners than what the Quattro did. The Quattro had a lot more understeer. I don't know if that's because the Quattro was 4-wheel drive when I drove it around here, or if it's just the fact that the Mono has a lot more grip. I am running a bit wide at some of these corners, trying to push the car as much as I can. But this lap is basically just a lap to get a feel for the car and what it's capable of. We're running around these last couple of corners now. One final tight corner. And then it's get a little bit sideways there, and that's just a run towards the line. And it was, what was it? It was a 309.9. So that was the first run with the Mono, a 309.9, which is pretty good, I think. We didn't really mess up all too much. We did get some wheel spin and some sideways moments, and we rimmed wide at a few corners, but it's on to the second lap with the Mono. Alright, we're back for the second run with the Mono. The only thing we really have to watch out for is getting on the power a little bit too soon through some of the corners. We got a little sideways, and just making sure we get slowed down and wait a little bit to get on the power out of some of these corners, because there is a little bit of understeer creeping in with the Mono. This car should be relatively good though. It's an amazingly easy car to drive. It's a track car. Has plenty of grip, plenty of speed. It's very forgiving. It's hard to get this thing sliding unless you are trying to do it purposely. Yeah, I mean, if you go through a low speed corner and then just try and boot it out of the corner, you're gonna get some wheel spin and slide around a little bit, but other than that, you should be fine. The car is, like I said, extremely forgiving. So yeah, just have a little lift around that corner so I don't go out too wide from the understeer. As you have noticed, I do have braking lines on. I am terrible at judging braking zones. I've played Forza for years and years, and I try turning the braking line off and I just can't do it. I don't need the full racing line, I just need the braking line. I don't know what it is, I just can't do it. Oh, I don't know why I let off the brakes a little bit there, but that was a little bit of a mess up on my part. But yeah, sometimes I notice with Forza it reckons that you can take a corner and you don't need to brake, and then you go to take it and it's just kind of throws you out wide. So I don't know how their system works, but sometimes it can be off there. Alright, so we're going to go through our run back up into the rainforest now. We're getting to the more technical of sections. I say technical, it's still relatively fast. I mean, a lot of these corners at the start are flat out 130, 150 mile an hour corners. Turning a tad too soon there. Then there's ones like that where you approach going like 140 to 150 and then you just have a little lift and you're through it. Now we're starting to get to more of the tighter turns where you actually have to slow down for them. Make sure you get the car composed before you fire it out the other side. I'm not sure if this is going to be a faster run or not. To be honest, the first run I never even looked at our time until the end, so I don't really have any kind of judgments. I don't think we've run as wide at as many corners as we did in the first run. We did have that coming down the big hill. We did outbrake ourselves a little bit. We ran wide a little bit there. It is a quicker lap. It was a 307.8, which is still an awesome time. We beat the 309 by 2.1 seconds. So yeah, we did improve quite a bit. There is still some more room for improvement. I just need to make sure I'm not running wide at some of these corners and bouncing off walls. So let's go on to the third run with the BAC Mono. Alright, we're back for the third run. Now it's very much a similar story as the last run. I basically just have to make sure I'm getting the car slowed down enough for the corners. That's really the only problem that I've had. I just run wide a tad too much at a few corners and it costs me a little bit of time. Nothing like, it isn't costing me a ton of time, but it is costing me little bits of time here and there, and I want this car to set as good of a target time as possible because I know it's an amazing car and it can do it. Okay, get it slowed down for this first corner. That sends us flying up into the rainforest for the first time. I do really love this track though. There isn't a lot of bumps or jumps or anything, so you can take it with normal road cars and track cars like this. Slow down there. Took that with a little bit too much speed. But I do like this track. It is really fast and flowing. Our rallycross track isn't amazingly fast. You do have to slow down places. It's also a shorter track. This one's kind of, I don't want to say polar opposite, but it's quite different in that respect, that it is faster and it is quite long. I think when I looked to come into the Rivals event, I think it said the track was just over 6 miles long. So it's a relatively long track compared to some of them. I guess it's why it's called the Grand Sprint. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. I think it's an awesome track if you just want to go and have some fun with a car. You do have the tighter sections at the end to challenge yourself a little bit. They're not too technical or anything, like, but yeah, I do really love this track. I just wanted something a little bit different, a little bit more high speed. 153 miles an hour through that corner. It's an amazing corner when you get that one right. It's banked at just the right angle that you can take it flat out and you just fly around it. Whoa, getting a little bit slidey there. That was my mistake. Trying to get on the throttle a little bit too much for that corner. Again, I said it in the last lap, I didn't really look at the time. I'm focusing so much because I want to push this car as much as possible. I'm not really looking at the time, so I don't really have a benchmark of have we gone faster or what. We won't really know until we get to the end of the event. But I'm not sure if we will, because I did have a couple sideways moments during this lap, and I'm trying to keep it from having another one here. We'll boot it out of the final corner, and I believe that was quicker than the second lap. Indeed it was. The last one was a 3:07, this one was a 3:06, so we did improve still quite a bit. So that will be our target time. It's set by the BAC Mono. So yeah, I'm not going to run a second car in this video. Generally I'd run like a target time and then a second car to see if it could beat it, but where this track is a bit longer, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to have too much in one video, so in the next video of this series we will be running a car to see if it will beat the BAC Mono's time of a 3:06.4. Alright guys, that is it for this video. So if you liked it, give me a like or subscribe, share the video, whatever you like doing. It helps me out a lot. And yeah, that is it for this video. Let's see if we get enough XP level. No, we don't. So, until next time, goodbye.